Now, 59-year-old Ashok Joshi is retired and wants to invest 50% of the accumulated corpus in fixed income funds to generate regular monthly and quarterly income. So out of banking and PSU, corporate bond and credit risk funds, which category of fixed income funds would you suggest for him?
So one is that the bad news is that any kind of fund, the return that he will see, he will not earn in the forthcoming, in recent future, because the past returns are way too impressive. It has also been a beneficiary of the rate cuts, which is reflected in the performance, because when interest rates go down, the bond funds appreciate, and the current performance which you will see that last 1 year, last 3 years, last 5 years, the returns look very handsome. And when you invest with that expectation will not be met. Embrace for lower return from these funds. Looking at the safety and the relative experience of investors, I would say that more than, I think, banking PSUs, if I have to really rank them in order of safety, I would say look at the banking and PSU fund, followed by corporate bond fund and the credit risk fund, in that order itself. But at the same time, just looking at these categories itself won't help. All these categories are filled with some good funds and some really bad funds. There are funds which have assumed very bad risk or very undesirable risk, and they have suffered. And how to filter that is most important. So exercising your choice and being extremely selective in these categories is very important. It is not that the bad fund will actually give you a little lower return. In bad funds, you might lose money, and in good funds, you might get a decent return. So it is very important to exercise your choice carefully, be selective, and look at the rating exposure, the credit quality of the underlying portfolio, and how the fund has been careful. Also, try and choose funds, because we have been extremely conservative with our fixed income choices. Our analysts are, keeping an eye on all the categories. They're looking at these funds very closely, and look closely the analyst choice in the fixed income categories, and limit yourself to that. It is because fixed income investors are, fixed income investors simply because they are risk averse, and to generate a little more return, if you are putting your capital at stake, it is undesirable. And the other rule, which generally speaking every investor should follow, is that don't invest in the best performing fund on performance in recent times, because when a fund is assuming, when a fund is generating great return, it is a result of assuming some risk, and that the penalty for that assuming that risk is so far not visible, but it can come to hit at any time.